Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And by the way, I am sick, so I am so sorry. Why are you just smiling?
No, we could have waited, but yeah, you want to do this.
All right, take it away.
Okay, so this is the finale of season 5 of Dawson's Creek, titled The Swan Song, aired May 15th, 2002. And
The
the
synopsis is
summer is upon the gain and they move on with their lives. Joey, back at Capeside, returns to her job as a waitress at the Yacht Club. Pacey gets a job there as a security guard. Then Dawson and Audrey and Jack and Jen are about to get on their flights, but they are delayed. Jack meets Eric at the airport, who was just coming back from his hometown, where he tried coming out to his parents. And then Jen tells Jack to go help Eric, as she'll go help herself by going to meet her parents. So we start off with Dawson at the airport, and he gets a call. It's Oliver, and he's talking to him about a movie when he sees Joey, and she smiles at him. And then a little bit later, they're sitting down, and Joey asks how long it's been, and he says maybe 3 4 years. No, she says 3 or 4 years, but he says it's been 5 since he went to LA. So apparently this was like a flash forward scene to start off with, which did confuse me a little bit. I didn't think we were going to do a flashback at the end of the season, maybe at the beginning of season 6, but not this one. So they keep talking.
so it has been 5 years.
Yeah.
Because that threw me off when she said 3, and then he said Lily was going to first grade, and I'm like, she'd only be like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes more sense. She'd be 6.
Yeah. And then they just haven't spoken to each other, I guess, since then.
Oh, and apparently she has a fiance.
Mm-hmm. Yep, who's a environmental lawyer. That brings Dawson's hopes down because he thought maybe this was a sign that he should get back together with her.
Well, what I thought was funny was when she, like when she got up to leave and she said, we had our shot and you blew it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the confident Joey in his dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Well,
turns out,
because the other one is so scared and doesn't say anything. So it's like she would never tell him that to his face.
right. Yeah, so she's really blunt with telling him to move on with his life because she said it's getting sad and ridiculous, and she thought he should know that. And they say take care. Uh, she says take care is the last thing she says before she leaves. And then that's when Dawson wakes up in bed, realizing it was all a dream. Thank goodness for him. And then he takes a few moments to
Well,
himself and goes back to
do you
sleep.
really think that Joey wouldn't talk to him for 5 years?
I don't know. They've gone like summers without talking to each other, so I don't know.
Summers are one thing, but 5 years, Joey.
No,
I could
I don't
see
know.
Dawson doing it. I could see Dawson doing it because he's in California or something, but Joey is like obsessed with Dawson.
Right.
Like whatever relationship she's in, she throws Dawson in it. So it's like, I don't get it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Joey would not be the one to pull away.
Right. And then after the theme song, we come back to Audrey and Joey. And Audrey asks Joey once more if she can't go to LA with her. But Joey doesn't even know what she would even do in LA.
Hang out with Dawson.
Hmm. Yeah. And then Pacey walks in. So Audrey's smile fades. And turns out that he's now working as a security guard at the yacht club.
All I know is he looks so cute.
Hmm. And
I
then,
did I did think it was funny when him and Joey were talking.
mhm,
And um and it was weird because Joey said, well, why don't you do any of your grand gestures? No, Joey. He's only supposed to do those for you.
mm,
But no, it's funny that like they were walking away, and he was like, "Looks like we're both stuck here for the summer. See you tomorrow." I was like, "Oh my God." Like it's just gonna be
Right.
the two of them for the summer.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to Dawson.
Dawson and Lily.
Yep, yep,
Okay. Dawson really thinks that Lily's gonna say Dawson first. Like her first word. Dawson.
right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that is so hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Come on now, Dawson. Really, if anything, he should be trying to get Lily to say, you know, Dada or Daddy, not Dawson,
mm-hmm. Right.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, he said she'll always remember him because of me. Well,
Right.
here would be the first time to say it.
Exactly, yeah.
But no, he couldn't do that because he's selfish. He's like, no, say Dawson.
And then yeah, Gail
Uh,
says maybe she has nothing to say, and he says, Illyria without something to say, I don't buy it for a second.
but Dawson said he's pretty cool because he helped his mom this year.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, okay, Dawson, you're giving yourself way too much credit there.
Well, he did a lot when he was still
No,
living, at
no,
least at the
but he
house.
said he's pretty cool.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a good son. I wouldn't go past that into the
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah. And then Gail apparently still ships Dawson and Joey because he asks Dawson if going on a date, when Dawson mentions that he will be seeing her
He's
later.
like, no, Audrey's coming too.
Mm-hmm. And he said maybe there's nothing more to say anyhow. And that's when she says his quote right back to him about Larry having nothing to say. Doesn't buy it for a second. And then at the radio station, Jack
Jack
finds
walks in.
Jen.
Okay,
Yeah.
what was up with this? 4 C's and 1D. And congratulations.
Hmm.
So Jack walks in saying 4 C's and 1D. And Jen
Oh.
goes, congratulations. And I'm like,
Oh, his grades. Mm-hmm.
you're congratulating him for getting bad grades?
Right. Yeah. Those are barely passing.
Yeah, I was like, he barely passed. I don't even know how he got those grades, but I was like,
Hmm.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But she was all excited too. I was like, Jen, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
He barely passed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really like the way that they graded each other. I mean, I get it, but then I don't get it at the same time. Because Jack told, graded Jen with "What's up, slut," and then she responded back with "Not much, big homo." And it sounds like that they've been doing this for a minute already, but it was just odd how they grade each other like that, especially after all this time. And then I thought it was funny how Jack gave Jen that book to read on the plane, so she wouldn't talk to him while he slept.
Yeah, it was funny. Because she goes,
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk. And he's like, and I like to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson, Joey, and Audrey are leaving his family's restaurant.
So Audrey's been in Capeside how long?
I don't know, a couple of days maybe.
Days, I would think, couple weeks.
Oh, well, she said a few days from before, so I don't know.
But I was just like, this is the first time you're going to the Leary's restaurant.
I guess I don't know.
I don't know, it threw me off. Remember, she was with Dawson, like, couldn't they have gone to lunch there?
Yeah, they could have.
Because
Yeah.
she wanted to see the whole town. So it's like, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It threw me off because I was just like, she's never been here before. Come on now.
Yeah, and she said that she thought she was going to have a way more disgusting culinary experience. I guess she meant like about not liking seafood, so she thought, it's better than she expected it to be, but I don't know. Kind of seemed like a backhanded compliment. And then she's going to leave Joey and Dawson alone while she goes to get CDs for the flight. And then so they're walking, and Dawson tells Joey to promise him to never marry a lawyer.
And then she brings up, what if he's a what? An
Uses his
environmental
powers
one?
for good. Yeah. Help children or the environment. So,
Exactly what she was in the dream.
yep. So of course that struck a nerve with him.
And he's like,
Didn't say
just get
why.
off the subject.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
Joey, yeah.
Okay. So, and then she brings up, why did you come to Florida and stuff? But it was weird because when she was talking to him, she said, saying goodbye last year was epic. What?
Yeah, epic's not really, it's usually like a good thing, not like a bad thing, as it was.
But I was like, epic.
Hmm.
Come on. This has turned into something stupid.
Yeah, she said dramatic too, which is the truth, but not
No,
epic.
but she said epic. And I was like,
Hmm.
come on, why are we making this such a big deal?
Hmm.
You were not the epic love story, so go away.
Yeah, so he tells her the truth of why he went down there to tell her that
He
for,
loves her.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Now, why is Joey so surprised that he loves her?
I don't know, because she does ask when that changed, yeah.
But I don't get it. There, he's sort of, I don't even want to say it, but he's sort of been in love with her
Hmm.
since sophomore year. I don't, it's not news.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be together before Mitch died. So I
Hmm.
don't get this. That, what? Come on, Joey.
I guess she
Get
figured
with
he
the
moved
program.
on. I guess she figured he moved on, especially when he was with Jen. So,
Yeah, and they broke up. It's over with.
hmm.
He hasn't really, dated anyone. Yeah,
Hmm.
he slept with Amy, but that was it.
Yeah. And she doesn't
So
even know that.
yeah, so it's just like, what? What do you mean? Just because I was kind of annoyed with that comment.
Hmm. Well, I thought it was sweet how he told her that it was seeing her little drawing album book that she gave Lily for her birthday is what made things change.
Yeah, that he didn't want her out of his life.
Hmm. And then he goes in to kiss her, but she backs away. So now she's not sure of her feelings.
Well, then she said about, are you sure I'm not your security blanket? I think they're both each other's security blanket.
Hmm.
Like they always fall back whenever they're in a relationship, they always fall back to each other.
Hmm. And then the next day it's time for Audrey and Dawson to leave. And she's mad that Joy didn't give her any details about her and Dawson. And then that's when we see Dawson put the envelope with her name on it in the mailbox. So I guess he wrote everything he wanted to say in that letter for her. They can't say it to her face before he leaves.
So what's in it?
I don't know. We don't see until a lot later.
We don't
Well,
see
we don't.
ever.
Yeah, we just get the gist of it, basically. Kind of.
And then Audrey said, well, I'm just gonna leave you two. And they're like, no. Like Dawson's like, no, I don't have anything to say.
All right.
It was just weird because I was like, bye. And it's like, okay, go on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
But then Pacey, he's working security,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And he runs into Danny and his, I don't know, girlfriend or week
Yeah.
of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was just like, why is Danny in Capeside?
I don't know. That's random. He could be anywhere else, but maybe he just went back to get a divorce from his wife.
Well, then he
Probably.
said, oh yeah, because Pacey goes, Lori, Glory, whatever, doesn't look like your wife. And he goes, oh yeah, she dumped me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
As
so
she should.
surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she should have day one.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I am so happy she left you. But then I didn't like that Danny said, um, like, I see myself in you. And then he
Mm-hmm.
said, well, you have a good future. And I'm like, no,
Right.
do not
Yeah.
compare yourself to Pacey.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Even Pacey knows it's not that great with what Danny's doing now.
Like Pacey has morals.
Mm-hmm.
and does the right thing. So I
Yeah.
don't like that he's like, no, come on. Think a little harder, writers. He is not Danny.
And then at the airport, we see Jen and Jack rushing to their gate, only to find out it's been delayed. And then Jen looks over and sees Audrey. Well, they both look over and see Audrey and Dawson because their flight was delayed too. They never give a reason why. I don't think why their planes are delayed, but yeah, so now they're all sitting down,
Well, they never really do.
right?
Like when your plane is delayed, it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't, it's not like they tell you. I mean, mine was delayed like a year ago leaving from Florida to Michigan. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, why? But again, there could be a number of reasons. But
Right.
again, it was Michigan, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, I just thought for the show they would say something.
but they actually don't though in real life.
Oh, okay.
They don't tell you. You just have to make it up in your head.
Mm.
Because I mean, sometimes they might tell you it's like, okay, if they truly cancel it, they'll say it's like weather. But if it's delayed, they don't tell you. At
Gotcha.
least what I've experienced, they don't tell you. You just have to, because sometimes it might be staff or it might be the weather, just depending on where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're all sitting down bored, waiting to get some news, and then that's when Eric walks in because apparently he was gonna go see his parents back in his hometown, but he didn't say where. I don't know if he said where or not, but yeah, he was gonna come out to them, but then he decided last second not to, so he came back to Boston.
Well, you know what I thought was funny?
Mm.
When Dawson ran into Grams,
Oh yeah,
and
didn't expect for
Grams
her to be there.
is
Hmm.
going to Las Vegas.
Yeah, with Clifton.
And then, oh, she doesn't want Jen to know.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was hinting at maybe them getting married. You know.
Well, yeah, because people go to Las Vegas to get married.
Mm-hmm. But of course, you don't get the answer for that. Just that they're going. And then Bess gets home and Joey wants to take the truck to get to work and she's running late, so Joey doesn't have time to put the letter from the mailbox that Dawson left her.
Are you surprised that she's working at the yacht club?
A little bit, yeah. I thought maybe we would see Miss Valentine or Drew there too, but we didn't.
I know it's summertime. Why can't we see Drew again?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been more entertaining.
Right. And then Bess goes to see Joey at work and, tells her about Paris. Apparently she was gonna go. But she got the form, had her picture taken and everything, but she just never sent it in.
Well, that's because Joey thinks she is her old self
Hmm.
and she hasn't changed.
Yeah. The Bess says she hasn't even shows her a picture of her when she was younger, and then Bess actually gives her the letter from Dawson, but she doesn't read it then and there. And then we have a moment with Dawson and Jen walking the airport because Grams had told Dawson about Jen's parents wanting to be with her for the summer. So Dawson's like trying to convince Jen to go.
I didn't like that
Yeah, me either.
because I was like, Dawson, you know what her parents have put her through.
Hmm.
Why would you be like, you need to go?
Yeah, and then
No,
he met her mom too, personally.
she's evil. Yeah.
Hmm. And didn't want Jen to know about Eve. So, and that was never brought up again either. So Jen still doesn't know she has a half sister out there somewhere.
Um, when Dawson runs into who is it?
Todd, the director.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hmm.
Because he's like, how do I know you? And Dawson's like, you fired me.
Yeah, and he was like, you have to, say why I fire a lot of people.
Well, then he was calling him like, poor baby. I was like, oh God.
Hmm.
But then he says, when you get to California, call me.
Right.
Alrighty. Do you think Dawson's going to?
I don't know. I don't think you should, but I don't know.
I know he fired you once. He can do it again.
Hmm. And then Jen had came back with a drink for Jack, and that's when Jen learned about Eric and everything that's going on with him. So she ends up telling Jack to help him and stay in Boston for the summer, and then she decides that she'll go to wherever would this be with her parents instead. So their whole plans are canceled right there and then,
Can we cut to my favorite couple?
which is,
I am so shocked that you don't know who my favorite couple is.
well, I know it's not Pacey and Audrey, right?
X no. It's Pacey and Joey.
Yeah. Well, they're not a couple. That's why I was
In
asking
my
why.
head, they're a couple. They will
Okay.
always be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. When she's sitting there reading his note, or his letter, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and Pacey comes up looking all cute. Um, did you see the way he was looking at her? I was like, oh my God. Like he's looking at her so cute.
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, he had this big smile on his face, and I was just like, oh, the good times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is. Well, I love them.
I know. And then that's when Joey asks Pacey if he misses Audrey, and she tells him to basically try to get her back before she leaves on her flight, and then she'll go talk to Dawson as well.
Well, it was weird because he was, because she was like, oh, do you miss Audrey? And he's like, well, I mean, coming from the class couple, you probably shouldn't ask me that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh God. This is why I don't like that they're friends. They're supposed to be, you know, so in love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they make a plan to stop Dawson and Audrey from getting on their planes. So Joey goes to buy a ticket while not Dawson, while Pacey finds his own way to use the intercom,
Did
or
you
try
hear
to.
Pacey?
Well, the phone first and then the intercom. Yeah. About,
Pacey said, no, he said, does this Dawson character really mean this much to you?
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
This Dawson character, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then there's a quick scene when Jen was trying to switch her first class ticket to coach, but she didn't want to fly all fancy, I guess, with her parents' money.
So did she get the coach?
No, there's no more tickets. But then she stops because Joey's right behind her in line and they talk and, have that little moment and actually tell each other that they love each other. So I guess now Dawson won't be in the way of their friendship. We'll have to see from here.
Depends if Jen goes after him again.
Hmm.
Which again, she's found out he's boring, so probably not.
Yeah, so Dawson and Audrey are waiting in line to get on their plane. And there's a loudspeaker announcement. And of course, it's Pacey on the phone wanting to talk to Audrey.
Now I'm gonna say something.
Mm,
Dawson and Audrey were in line to board. Um, and Joey was just getting in line to that long line to get a ticket from anywhere or to go anywhere. I do not think that she would have time to get a ticket in that long line, plus go find him
right.
while like in the amount of time of boarding. I I,
Mhm.
I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, yeah, do I.
They should never have put it as they're boarding right now
Hmm.
because that's what made me go, well, this isn't realistic because and also Dawson and Audrey were staying there for 20 minutes in the same spot. The line does move.
Hmm.
So it would have, I just thought that was so stupid. I was like, definitely not realistic.
Yeah, so Pacey talks to Audrey on the phone. He says, come downstairs and we'll talk. And that's not enough for Audrey. So she calls him a lazy romantic and hangs up on him and goes back in line.
But yeah, she was so stupid and didn't hear what he said. Meet me downstairs.
Yeah, well, she just wanted something sweeter than that. That's all.
No, he isn't. He's at the airport.
Yeah, she knows that. That wasn't enough for her to
I
go
don't know
see
if she
him.
really knew that. She kind of seemed clueless.
No, I think she wanted the gesture, like Joey told him to. That's why he went to the intercom. He had to pay the guy just to use it. And then when he finally did get on the intercom, Audrey doesn't even hear at first because she's listening
And
to her
also
music.
Dawson pulls her headphone back to hear. It was funny.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a good thing too, because if she was there by herself, she never would have heard a single word. So, but yeah, so now he's all sweet and says, that he knows he can live without her, but he doesn't know if he doesn't want to. And that he thought all the big loves of his life were behind him, and but yet she has rocked his world, and he knows that they don't know each other that well yet, but he's sure, like I said, that he can't live without her. And then that's his pitch, and he signs off. Yeah, so when Joey does buy a ticket, she blurts out Milwaukee, and the guy just judges her for picking that location. So then that's when she says Paris. And then when Audrey does meet Pacey, this is the second time now I think that the second time that she called him a dickhead in this season.
You mean in this episode?
Oh, was it episode? I can't remember
Hmm.
if it was this one or not. Yeah, so then
Oh
they
yeah,
talk,
she said it a few times.
yeah. So they make up and, talk about going to California together. And, just she forgives him. And then when they're leaving, he asks if she has gas money because, he spent all his money on the intercom, which I thought was funny.
All I know is her parents must have a lot of money to pay for her plane ticket, and she's not even going on the plane.
Right. And then I'm sure Audrey used her credit card that she got from her parents to pay for. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're driving. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, she could have bought him a plane ticket if there was one, but yeah, they're gonna drive there. And then Joey finds Dawson finally. And Joey, we don't know what he said in the letter, but Joey, is all for their relationship now, except that she's gonna let Dawson go to California, but she stays in Capeside, and she says that things will work out the way that they're supposed to. So they both have hope that they'll be together after the summer's over, I guess, or later down the road.
Hmm. I was happy that she said to go.
Hmm. I mean, she could
And
have gone with him, but
yeah,
yeah.
but like she said, that's your dream, not mine. And that's
Hmm.
your, destiny and stuff, not mine. But the thing is, if you're going to be with each other in the future and he's in California, aren't you
Hmm.
going to have to go there too?
Yeah, so I said she could have just gone for the summer and then go back when school was going to start.
No, but if you want to be with each other in the long run, you're going to
Hmm.
have to be together.
Yeah.
I was happy that they kissed and he left. I was
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
just thinking as like a Dawson Joey fan, they were probably
Hmm.
so mad.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching, I'm like, I'm so happy I don't like Dawson and Joey because I was happy that they went their separate ways at the end. But as a fan, they were
Hmm.
probably not happy.
Yeah. So they tell each other their lives are waiting for them and that they'll be okay.
Yeah, and then Joey goes to return her ticket
Hmm.
and she gets a little excitement over she could go to Paris, and then that's the end.
Yeah. Well, before that, we have a couple scenes. Jenna's on the plane where she gets her a hot towel, and then that's when Todd sits next to her, and
How is she getting a window seat? Those are the first ones that go.
well, her parents are rich, so
I
they
know,
must have bought it
but
ahead of
even
time.
yeah, but even first class, those are the first ones I'm sure that go.
I'm sure they just,
Everyone was getting window seats. Dawson. It was
oh,
annoying.
okay, yeah. Yeah, so Todd sits next to her and he thinks that Jen's like some
We got
actress or
4 minutes.
model. Hmm. I know, I'm just finishing up a little bit. And then, he says that he's a filmmaker and she asks what he's done. And he mentions Damage Inc., the movie that Dawson was working with on him for a couple of days. And she says, oh, yeah, I saw that opening night. It kind of sucked. So I thought that was funny because he had hoped that he had a fan for a second. And then we see Eric and Jack enjoying each other's company. And then we see a girl sit next to Dawson on the plane too, who's nervous about flying. So I don't know if that's gonna mean anything, if, she's going to California too, or LA to, you know, do something in filmmaking as well, and maybe they'll see each other. I don't know. I just feel like she was meant to be in that scene for a reason. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it did end like like Joey was gonna go to Paris, but we don't get the exact answer. We just see her smile.
Um, so my high was Pacey and Joey scenes.
Hmm.
My low, mm, Pacey going with Audrey.
Oh,
What about you?
yeah. My highs and lows. My high was just Jack and Jen having their moment of, deciding to go their separate ways, but knowing that they were fine, friendship wise, because Jack wants to help Eric because he's a good person like that, and Jen thinks she needs closure for her parents once and for all, and then they can move on with their lives. But and then the low was just the whole hassle of trying to reach everybody in time. It just seemed like they had enough time to do everything. Yeah, it seemed unrealistic time wise. And then rating,
I'd rate this an 8. It was okay. I
yeah,
mean, it
7.5.
wasn't like the best season
Mm-hmm.
finale, but
Right,
what
yeah.
was yours?
7.5.
Oh,
Yeah, it just didn't really seem that dramatic. And then
not for a
best and
season 5 ending.
yeah, best and
What?
worst.
Yeah, what's your best and worst?
Worst is Todd, just because I don't like him, so I wasn't happy to see him again, and probably will see him again in the next season too with Dawson. And then my best is Joey, just because she helped Pacey get to Audrey.
Mhm.
And yours?
My worst was Danny. I didn't like that he compared
Mm.
himself to Pacey.
Right, yeah.
And then he said, like, this is your life, basically. No, that's your
Mm-hmm.
life, Danny.
Right.
And then my best was Joey. I like that she was kind of just helping everyone, telling Dawson he needed to go,
Mm-hmm.
telling Pacey he needed to go. Gross. Um,
Right.
just sort of helping everybody
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was the end.
and not being selfish.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, so that was the end of season 5.
Yay, thank God. It was so bad. So what would you rate overall season 5?
Maybe like a 7. And you?
6.
Mm.
And then what was your favorite episode?
The one with the road trip with Charlie to the
Me
concert.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they were singing. Yes, me too. I
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah, and then the worst, of course, was the episode where Mitch died in the funeral
Yep.
part, 2 part. Yep. So season 6, the last season of this show we'll get into next time. The first episode is called The Kids Are All Right.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.